In the summer of 2018, while I was in high school and residing with my family, my parents set off for our seasonal cabin getaway, leaving town. Typically, I would have joined them, but feeling a bit more mature, I chose to stay home and invite a few friends over instead. As the sun dipped below the horizon on that Friday evening, I found myself on the phone engaged in conversation with my friend Stacy, finalizing our plans for the night. It was our usual routine to convene with our inner circle of girlfriends, indulging in discussions about boys and high school gossip, all the while sneaking in a little of our favorite drinks that Stacy was able to score for us that night. Moments after wrapping up my conversation with Stacy, I made my way to the refrigerator when movement outside the kitchen window grabbed my attention. Approaching the window, I peered outside but discerned nothing unusual. However, shortly after, faint noises emanated from the vicinity of our glass patio door. I stood for a moment in the quick engulfing darkness as I yet turned on any lights in the house, just listening closely. Outside, though faint, the indistinct sounds coalesced into unmistakable footsteps, causing me to strain my ears in apprehension. I was feeling a bit creeped out. Who could possibly be lurking in my backyard? Unless it was one of my friends attempting to scare me, which I wouldn't hold it past them. The footsteps gradually faded away. I cautiously slid open the glass patio door and peeked outside, scanning the area to ensure no one was in the backyard. All I encountered was the warm summer breeze and the distant echoes of barking dogs. But within moments, the tranquility shattered as I detected the sound of someone fiddling with the lock on the door leading to our garage. As anticipation mounted, my breaths grew shallow, anticipating the imminent opening of the door, clueless about the intruder's identity. My heart racing, I positioned myself behind a nearby wall, seeking refuge and concealment. Then, the door creaked open, sending a shiver down my spine. Peeking around the corner, I was met with sheer terror. Standing before me was a tall, slender, middle-aged man, dressed in what appeared to be a dark brown full-body contractor uniform. He remained oblivious to my presence as I watched him venture into the living room. It's like he knew the place. Reacting quickly, I grabbed hold of the largest knife I could find. Just as he approached the stairs, I reached for my phone to dial 911, but the realization dawned upon me that it was charging on my nightstand in my room. To my own surprise, with conviction, I called out to him, confronting him directly and questioning his intrusion. Startled by the unexpected challenge, he swiveled around to face me, his features registering surprise as my voice reverberated through the hushed darkness. Gripping in the knife firmly, I held it before me, pointed towards him, ready to defend myself. His reaction shifted from astonishment to amusement in an instant, and he chuckled. "I'm terribly sorry. I had no clue someone was still around," he expressed. He clarified that he was an electrician authorized by my parents, holding the key to conduct any necessary repairs during their absence. Gesturing towards his patch, he affirmed, "Look, it's me, Joe the electrician," maintaining a friendly grin. Despite my lingering tension while holding the knife, I couldn't help but feel a wave of reassurance from his demeanor. However, a lingering question persisted. Why hadn't my parents mentioned his visit beforehand? Despite a slight easing of my nerves, I remained on edge, acutely aware of the imposing figure in the dimly illuminated living room. With a defensive tone, I asserted, "I've already called 911. Perhaps it's best if you return another time when my dad is home." He promptly apologized, acknowledging my concerns, and replied, "I'd expect nothing less from my own daughter." With that, he made a hasty exit through the front door. As he prepared to shut the door behind him, our eyes locked one last time, his unsettling smile freezing me in place. His gaze swept up and down my body in a deeply discomforting manner. "See you later," he uttered before finally closing the door. I kept a close eye on him as he walked away, feeling a sense of relief as he eventually disappeared into a van that drove away. With his departure, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Reflecting on the tense encounter, I quickly realized I should have insisted on getting the keys back, but the thought slipped my mind in the heat of the moment. I simply wanted him gone. Seeking comfort, I illuminated the house with lights and double-checked all the locks. Reaching out to my dad to relay the unsettling encounter, his response sent a jolt of fear through me. He had no arrangements for any electrician or contractor to conduct work. He assured me he would have informed me if such arrangements were made. Expressing relief at my safety, he resolved to return home the following morning. Fortunately, I had plans with friends that evening, sparing me from being alone with my thoughts. I remained on edge throughout the night, and the incident became a prominent topic of discussion during the sleepover. Thankfully, the remainder of the evening passed without any further freaky encounters. Upon my dad's return the following day, he embarked on a thorough investigation into the stranger's presence, enlisting the help of the local police. We had our locks immediately changed out. He methodically questioned our neighbors, seeking any insights into unfamiliar individuals seen near our home recently. One neighbor recalled glimpsing what appeared to be a contractor on our property a couple times in the past month. A couple of days later, following dinner, I was lounging in bed, absorbed in conversation with my friends. Suddenly, a knock echoed through the door. "Yes?" I responded, as my dad entered the room, wearing a concerned expression. He began to meticulously scan the area. "What's happening?" I inquired, puzzled by my dad's behavior. "I just had a thought," he replied, continuing to search my room. It only took a moment for his words to sink in. "Oh my God, do you think he installed cameras?" I blurted out. "I hope not," my dad replied with a hint of concern. After several minutes of thorough searching, he made a discovery. A small camera discreetly installed within the lamp in my room, connected to an unidentified device. My heart plummeted in my chest as the realization dawned on me. That man had been watching me for who knows how long. The mere idea of that tall, unsettling man secretly observing me within the confines of my own room filled me with an overwhelming sense of terror. We delivered the discovered equipment to the police, who conducted an investigation but ultimately failed to locate or identify the intruder. I was left in a state of disbelief, struggling to comprehend that such a frightening situation could happen in reality. While such incidents are often depicted in movies, I never imagined it could occur to me. Even now, I often find myself pondering whether I will ever cross paths with that man again. The thought occasionally crosses my mind. Could any of the videos or pictures he captured resurface online? The incident truly shook my world, and despite my efforts to move on, the unsettling notion of someone observing me for their twisted desires continues to linger, haunting me indefinitely.